really cool to bring light to the zoo and to honor him.
No, I think that's a great
Perk,
thing.
I don't know
But
who's a
look,
better
they couldn't
dunker.
have found a tiger, a baby tiger. They couldn't have found a baby tiger.
Well,
That's what Ja Morant is, a
I was just
tiger.
gonna
You
say-
name him after a tiger, not a giraffe.
Well, I was going to say he's such a good dunker. You want the giraffe can dunk because of the
height.
Okay, maybe not. Welcome into the Jump. I'm Rachel Nichols. Today I'm joined by our resident head coach, Mr. David Fizdale, and NBA champion, Kendrick Perkins. Coming up, guys, the Sixers made a couple moves on draft day. Is this the start of something bigger in Philly, though? We will discuss that a little later. First, though, man, some unfortunate breaking news to report. Klay Thompson suffering that season-ending Achilles tear. We knew when we woke up this morning the news wasn't going to be good, but boy, really not good. Now, based on the type of tear, our Adrian Wojnarowski reports that Thompson has been told he is expected to make a full recovery. But this is such rough news. Klay, of course, missed all of this past season with the ACL. He was an Ironman before that, so crucial to the Warriors. Take a look at the past 5 seasons, including nearly 22 points per game on 40% three-point shooting in his last full season that he played. Perk, what is your reaction to hearing Klay being out for at least another year?
I hate it, Rachel. I was looking forward to watching the Splash Brothers. The game missed Steph and Klay together. Both of those guys together are must-see TV. And I was looking forward to seeing how they was going to bounce back together. And now without Klay, a guy that could score 70 points in 3 quarters with only taking 11 dribbles, that is just, it hurts. Because I was looking forward to watching Klay. He's actually one of my favorite players in the NBA.
Yeah, Rach, I think that what I was looking forward to was seeing the West Coast battles, right? The Lakers, Warriors, Clippers, Warriors. I mean, they add a whole nother element to the championship run. We know that these guys are contenders, and so not having Klay really knocks them out of the loop of that. Now I think it's about them fighting and trying to get home court in the playoffs if they can. A lot of weight is going to fall on the rookie, and a lot of weight is going to fall on Wiggins. Obviously, we know what Steph and Draymond are about, but those other guys are going to have to step up around them if they want to make a decent seeding in the playoffs.
Yeah, and look, we were hoping maybe Lakers-Warriors could be a Christmas Day game, to your point, Fizz, and now it wouldn't have that same sort of star power. And it's not just Klay, what he does individually as a player, although that is incredible. It's the way he makes Steph Curry, right, so much more effective. Him being a threat changes the math for Steph. Fizz, if you were coaching against the Warriors, once Klay is removed from the equation, how does that change the way you defend Steph?
Well, it opens up opportunities to really go after him and to really put 2 people on him, double him at all times, really try to make it as difficult as possible for him to have big scoring nights. But again, it's going to come down to those other guys. I really believe that, the Wiggins and the Rook is going to have to really step up. Draymond's going to probably have to have one of his best years ever if this team is really going to be serious. Look at this. I mean, they got a lot of spots with some unknown names that they got to fill in.
Fizz, I'm right there with you. Look, Steph Curry proved to us over these past couple of years and over the course of his career that he could beat you single-handedly. So guess what? I'm going to the Nick Nurse strategy. I have to go into a boxing one. I have to trap him until he gives up the ball. But look, like Fizz was saying, Rachel, it's time for Wiggins to step up. And one thing that the Warriors do have, that's great over there, they have culture.
Yes.
They have a great foundation. From Steve Kerr to Ron Adams to Mike Brown to the front office, Bob Myers, and then you go to the players. Steph Curry and Draymond Green, still the 2 heart and souls of their team, and then you add Andrew Wiggins. Well, now he don't have to worry about being the #1 pick anymore. He could just go out there and play the game freely and be a second option or a third option. Well, now a second option guy since Klay out, but he don't have to be that main focal point. And I got big plans. Look, people don't know how good James Wiseman is, and I can't wait till he get his NBA debut, for he can show the world that he's ready. He has a lot of Kevin Garnett in this game, and I can't wait to see this kid play.
Yep.
Well, that is certainly high praise coming from someone who played alongside and won a championship alongside Kevin Garnett. If he has that kind of trajectory, he can be very, very grateful. And look, we'll see. Certainly no one's crying for the Warriors. They have a two-time MVP still on the team. They have, as you said, the #1 overall pick with Wiggins. They have the #2 overall pick now, this rookie with James Wiseman. They've got Draymond Green, former Defensive Player of the Year. But boy, I don't know if Warriors culture can make up for a guy who can shoot the way Klay can shoot without needing the ball in his hands that often or that much, and no dribbling required. We'll see how they make up for this. It is a blow for the entire NBA. I do want to move on to the Sixers, though, guys, because they made a couple deals last night before the draft. They traded Al Horford in a deal that centered around Danny Green. Then during the draft, they sent Josh Richardson and the 36th pick to Dallas for sharpshooter Seth Curry. Seth, by the way, the son-in-law of Sixers head coach Doc Rivers, married to Callie Rivers. So cheers to family reunions there. Now, Fizz, what do you think of these moves? And do you think they are setting themselves up for something even bigger?
I do. I really like the moves they made. I think that they're making the main thing to still want to Spoles lines, and they're trying to create space for those two guys. And Seth Curry is one of the best shooters in the NBA, hands down. There's no other way around it. I think getting Al Horford to another team and taking two bigs off the court for Ben Simmons is really going to open up the floor for him. Because I think you could see it when Ben Simmons was playing just with Al Horford or just with Embiid, he looked great. But it was tough on him when he had both guys out there on the floor with him. So they're really opening up the court right now and really trying to make this guy's talent shine. And I think Seth can play next to him easily because he can take bigger matchups. Seth can take smaller guys. But I think Morey is really coming in there with a plan to open up the floor and get that three ball going so those guys have a lot of space to operate.
I agree. And the #1 thing that they did, that Daryl Morey and Elton Brand did yesterday, because I believe not only did they win in the draft, but they won the whole entire day yesterday, even with trades, is that they saved a lot of money. So now they could go out there and get some free agents. But I'm with you. Adding a Danny Green and a Seth Curry open up the court, and it provides space, and especially for Ben Simmons to go to work and be able to have those driving gaps. And then also, you still Tyrese Maxey at number 21, a guy that I thought was going to go in the top 10, and he slipped all the way to number 21, and you're able to grab him, and you got Doc Rivers over there that's fired up about coaching this team, and a new Joel Embiid. If Joel Embiid is in shape, he could possibly be the MVP next year or in the top for the runners. I'm telling you, Doc Rivers is going to have that effect on him like he did with DeAndre Jordan.
I totally agree, Perk. But I think the best part of this whole thing is Doc gets to be a grandpa with his little grandbaby right next door. So right. I think that's the coolest thing that he gets to do with his family.
Right.
That is excellent. And look, as you guys said, this gets you off of Horford's money. So I don't know where they are in James Harden trade talks or anyone else, but it does give them more flexibility to just be a few moves away from a big salary player. But even in itself, even if this is not setting up anything in the future, love Seth Curry opening space for those guys. Love Danny Green with his championship experience. Love Tyrese Maxey. I'm with you, Perk. This was a steal. I don't know how he fell that far. But also, I'm super impressed, yet again, with the other side of that first deal, Sam Presti, who knew that he could take that Al Horford contract because of some of the other contracts he's already given up. They don't have that Chris Paul on the books anymore. And he picked up another draft pick, guys. Pretty soon, the NBA draft is going to be just Sam Presti, and he's going to have all 30 picks, and he's just going to decide, what order should I draft everyone in? And he can just go up. I think he's like a 3. I'll pick him at a 5. I think that's the future. We're going to see that with Sam. It's just been incredible. All right, I do want to shift our attention to the draft we just had. Great job by the NBA. Fantastic work by our colleagues in Bristol. I was so impressed. I hope this is the only virtual draft, but it was a cool one. Perk, which franchise impressed you most last night with their selections?
The New York Knicks, the New York Knicks, getting the chance to get Obi Toppin at number 8. I love it. The Knicks finally did something right. They have been messing up. Besides signing Coach Fizdale, but besides that, they finally did something right by drafting Obi Toppin. Rachel, this kid is full of excitement. He's electrifying. He's going to sell tickets. He's must-see TV. He had 107 dunks last year that he led in college. And by the way, look, he is 22 years old, and he still got room to grow. He reminds me a lot of Blake Griffin, so I think the Knicks won just by being able to draft him with the number 8 pick.
I actually really agree with you, Perk. I think that the kid is electric. He's a hometown kid. He's a New York City talent. And I just think that he's gonna be a guy as they continue to build this team around him. And I know they got a lot of criticism for not taking a guard in the draft, but I really think this team is more built for a veteran guard to come in and help them kind of mold the whole thing. I don't think a young guard is the guy that's going to come in and get this team to the next level. So this kid coming in, already having a fan base, already having people that understand what he brings to the table, I think is a great pick for the Knicks, and I'm really happy to see that they added him to the roster.
It was really sweet. He was so emotional when he was picked, talking about playing for his hometown. Is there anyone else you think did a great job last night?
Well, obviously, I look at it this way, like, I wish Klay Thompson didn't go down, because you add Wiseman to that group, and all of a sudden now you're like, wait a minute, this is electric, and so, going into, I knew Klay was going down, I was going to say this kid here is just the steal for them, because you got two hard